Hi everybody, it's Donna from Purple Pinky Promises, and we have a little Easter basket project coming to you. It's on a card, but let alone an Easter basket. So the first thing I'm going to do here is apologize right off the bat. I was recording and I didn't have my screen cast over my workspace. After I had already done all this work, that I realized, oh no. So what I'm showing you here is that I have die cut some ovals for that handle, and I have used the basket die from the layered basket stamp. Oh, it's actually a stamp set that's got a die that coordinates with it from Sunny Studio. And I just used the die, and then I took those pieces and ran them through an embossing folder, the Altenew Wicker Texture 3D embossing folder. So that's what I did to get the handle and the basket. And you'll see a little more detail here in just a second. But what I'm showing you here, this whole video is about using your products and getting more stretch out of them. So this is actually a Prima Marketing Love Notes paper pack for Valentine's Day. But this paper pack stretches into spring, and I'm using it for Easter. You could also use it for wedding. It has got some really gorgeous vintage, soft vintage colors, soft springy vintage colors here. And those eggs were cut from this paper pad. So all of the patterned paper that you're going to see in this project today has come from this paper pad. The Love Notes, Prima Marketing, absolutely gorgeous paper pack. Okay, so now here I am showing you that these were the dies. I taped them together, ran them through this jute cardstock from Keller's Creation. Same thing with that basket die there. And then I ran them through. So I'm showing you that's from Sunny Studio. I ran the Lacy ovals die from Waffle Flower. I ran those through, die cut them, and then again I ran them through the embossing folder, that Wicker Texture 3D embossing folder from Altenew. I cut off the bottom of that oval and taped it down to the back so I kind of have an idea where I wanted to place my eggs. So now we're a little caught up here. Okay, and those eggs, by the way, were cut out using the Eggstraordinary Easter add-on die from Lawn Fawn. And I'll show you in a little bit why they have those little pieces die cut out of them, because I was at home and I didn't have my wire snippers and I didn't want to wire snip them. I didn't want to pull them apart. I'm just a little fussy about stuff like that. Plus, I didn't have my magnets to store them on. I didn't have my storage packets. So I just decided, nah, I'm going to leave them all together. I don't want to lose anything. So it doesn't matter anymore because we're going to cut those off. So here I am taking some vintage photo distress ink, and I'm just lightly going over it to give it some color, to add just a little bit of interest and some depth to bring out the embossing folder, the texture on that embossing folder, to make it look more basket-like. And now I'm going to glue that to the back, laying it down so when I do finally put it on my card front, it will lay down just right. So now I'm taking all my eggs and I am going around them very lightly with some distress ink. I am going to cut those off because we don't necessarily need them. They're not really going to show. And yeah, it works, folks. So there we go. I'm just putting this together little by little, kind of alternating my colors, light and dark. That paper, I'll tell you something, all of those little flecks and different colors are on the paper pad. I didn't have to do anything special to them. Are those not the most gorgeous eggs ever? Oh, I love them. Okay, so here I am just kind of layering it up to see where I want to lay things down. And yeah, and you'll see here in just a second, I take one of those bottom halves and I pop it in there too. Because you know what? isn't it supposed, aren't our things supposed to come, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, odd numbers, right? Aren't we? It must have been my brain that just said it needed one more egg. And so I did it. I put one more egg in there after this one. I just love those little speckles. I just think they're darling. I just think this piece of paper made perfect eggs. Oh, so pretty. And there it is. I'm looking and searching for that one little piece that I wanted to put in between there. And there it is. That's the piece that goes in there. Voila. And there it is. Okay, you'll see it more here in a minute. So there I am showing you that those eggs were cut with that die. And I didn't take it apart because I wanted my magnet first. Okay, so this is a hippity hoppity from a set from Dare to Be Artsy stamp sets. What I'm using, I'm actually just using the sentiment from it. I'm going to pull out another piece of paper from this paper pack, and we're going to stamp our sentiment on it right here. So I decided the Easter blessings, those are two separate pieces in this stamp set. And I did use my Versafine Clair, but I didn't really ink it up like perfectly. I wanted it to be a little distressed looking because this is vintage looking. And I am going to take one of those waffle flower ovals, and we're going to die cut that at an angle so that it kind of comes across the bottom of the basket at an angle. And you're going to see what I do here with this piece of paper that I chose. We're going to use it again. So I run this through, bring it back, and yeah, I wanted it to kind of go across there, slightly at an angle. And now I'm going to fussy cut that flower bouquet that little cherub is sitting on. So I took that little cherub seat. So sorry. Not sorry. And I go around and fussy cut this. I ink it up along with the sentiment. Of course, I'm always late to the game sometimes. I do things and I realize, oh, I should have waited. I shouldn't have put that together. I should have inked up those edges before I put it together. But it's okay. It worked out anyway. So I used some dimension. I've got my Stampin' Up! Dimensionals here at home. So I'm using this dimension, popping it on there. Take a few extra stabs at it before I get it committed, and there it is. Okay, inking it up all the way around, including those flowers. And I didn't do any heavy inking. I just did some really soft ink. This was a soft spring. I didn't want anything heavy. I just wanted a soft spring look. And there you see. Forgot that I had already showed that to you, but you're going to see that again. Never hurts to double check to make sure you know where I got that from. So here it is. There's our sentiment. Okay, now we're going to ink this up around the edges. This is our card front. That card base is actually, I have cut that down and scored it to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, to measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And that is jute cardstock from Keller's Creation. Yummy color, looks absolutely fabulous with this project. So going to put glue on, and then I'm going to wipe off the glue, and I'm going to put on some dimension because I forgot. Whoops, I need to put that on dimension. Sorry, I didn't edit this part out. You're going to get to see me struggle with the little backs of these for just a minute. All right. So like I said earlier, this is about stretching the use of your products. So we've created a basket with a handle. We've created these eggs, and we've used Valentine paper for an Easter project. Going to tie this ribbon on. This is some seam binding from Hug Snug, and it's just here at home in my stash, and I'm just popping it on there. I did take a little light bit of water and kind of crinkled up that ribbon before I put it on, just to give it kind of a vintage look of crinkle. Trimming it down, and we'll put everything. I am putting that basket on dimension. So I know I did spare you the details on that one. So you wouldn't have to watch me struggle for so long to get those on there. So now this is all on dimension. I did think, oh, maybe a few little pearls would be pretty on this, but I didn't have any with me. I didn't bring any home with me for this project. I just didn't have that foresight. So we're going to stick with what we have. So we are going to glue this to the card front, and I have one more little stretching your product surprise to add to this card at the very end. So you could stop here. This definitely is a very beautiful card without adding what I have added, but I thought I wanted to add a more realistic look to it. And it picks up the green that's in the card front. There's some green on there. You can't really see it very well probably right now, but if you were to come in and see this sample, you could see the green that is in that card front. I am taking that pine twine from Tim Holtz Ideaology that's meant for Christmas, and yes, we are going to use it. That's our Easter grass, folks. And the best kind of Easter grass is the grass that you don't have to pick up for 5 months, right? So here it is. And we're just going to tuck that in and use some double-sided tape to hold that down. And voila. We have Easter grass in our Easter basket. Yay! All right. There it is. Yay, yay, yay. All right. Woohoo! And we are done. Thanks for joining me, folks. I certainly appreciate it. I hope you all have enjoyed this project as much as I did creating it. We thank you for your support. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care, and bye-bye.